In war, as in sport, fighting effectively doesn't always mean fighting prettily. Sometimes brute force or rudimentary tactics beat subtlety and ingenuity. Heroes and Castles wages war with its own brand of semi-strategic mayhem, and while it's not always as slick or clever as you might like it to be, there's no denying it's pretty effective. Take a quick look at one of Heroes and Castles screenshots and it looks like a fairly generic, uncompromising 3D action RPG game. While you lead a single fantasy hero out into the field of battle though, hacking and slashing, or shooting if you choose the dwarf, is only half of the experience. Your movements are restricted to the field immediately in front of your castle, and you're charged with the simple task of holding back the hordes of enemy orcs, skeletons, and monsters looking to deliver their own Helm's Deep moment. While you can cause a certain amount of carnage yourself, irrespective of which of the three heroes you choose, the key to victory is setting up a robust, flexible, automated defense. Rather like a tower defense game, you need to respond to an ever-changing enemy threat by plowing the spoils of war into new and better units. These range from infantry, pikemen are excellent at dealing with armoured foes, while dwarven blunderbuss wielders are great for crowd control, to defensive towers. You can even replace those creaking wooden outer walls with tougher alternatives. As with any tower defense game, there's a delicate balance at play here, and often you'll find yourself failing because you've ploughed too many of your resources into a certain unit type, leaving a glaring weakness elsewhere. But at least here, there's the prospect of going and helping out yourself when the going gets tough, which becomes even more of a prospect as you improve on your hero with new abilities and powers. And tough Heroes and Castles certainly gets. Even the most balanced defensive setup won't keep enemies from bashing away at your walls, and you'll constantly be dashing around putting out metaphorical fires, or pausing the action to repair a wall from the battle menu. Allow your opponents through your outer defenses and they'll lay into your gold mines, or even worse, your keep. In fact, things can get a little too tough at times, and you'll have to quit out and plow some of your skill points and gems into boosting your units or your hero's capabilities. As you might have guessed, you can give yourself an advantage by purchasing more of these gems with in-app purchases, and you'll find it hard to resist spending money to gain that extra bit of breathing room. There's also an entertaining co-op multiplayer mode, although the lack of communication and the need to issue orders on the fly stifle some of its tactical potential. If we're being frank, Heroes and Castles isn't especially brilliant as either a third-person hack and slasher or a strategy game. The action is too wooden, the animation too rudimentary, and the controls too stiff in the first case, and the tactics too basic and your units too automated in the latter. The game's menus too are just plain ugly and unpleasant to navigate. But spliced together, along with the game's frenetic pace and impressive sense of ebb and flow, Heroes and Castles somehow becomes more than the sum of its parts. An unorthodox and unsubtle warrior it may be, but it'll likely win over your affections all the same.